ẹjọ́ ṣàná yẹn ní kò yẹ pẹ́rẹ́ tó jẹ́ pédé ni wọ́n tún wà lẹ́nu ṣíṣàyè lásán ọlọ́run bá kẹ́ máa yọ̀ jára mọ́ ọ̀pẹ́ dúdú ìgbìyànjú tún ṣáàdúrà kọ́lá máa ṣe ìjàlọ fún tó láyé ò kì í ṣe tó a lè fẹ́ ni tó ti lọ́lá rí o ẹni ìgbà yìí bá ń gbé lọ́mọ ádámọ̀ wárí fún àwọn èèyàn kúndùn yẹ̀yẹ́ kọ́ bá ṣàníwá ní ìlú òdùpẹ́ fọlọ́run tí ó fọ́ta olùfẹ́ olúwa.
Welcome to the heartbeat of the city. Hear the rhythm of the streets. Vicinity FM 95.3.
In the state of believing spring, right on the mountain top, a baby was born, ready to take the world by storm. Welcome to our vicinity 95.3 FM Ikejile Ijesha.
Make money this morning. Good evening, you go get a lot this evening. Every day I see my people suffering under the rain. Every day I see my people smiling under the pain. And I pray, you know, go be in vain. And I know say that you also ego pay. Basket, oh yeah, Bangoro no be $1. Pascalaba, Zobo, no be nada. Pascalaba, Safano, be sugar. Pascalaba, Zobo, no be nada. After come, I can see your tomorrow, Zef. You sure say you sure? You sure tomorrow clear? Only if you know how I'm feeling today. It get that in my body. Like say, I could get my latte. It be like say, as I go shake it. It be like say, I can't go. It be like say, let's be all go land. Oh, good morning, you go make money this morning. Good evening, you go get a lot this evening. Oh, good morning, you go make money this morning. Good evening, you go get a lot this evening. Basket, oh yeah, Bangoro no be $1. Basket, oh yeah, Zobo no be nada. Basket, Safran no be sugar. Basket, oh yeah, Zobo no be nada. It's Graham Baba. Tomorrow.
Say the best smiles are experienced on Friday. Why is that? Let's start with that.
Because it's the end of the week.
We see the best smiles on Friday. Why?
Because it's the end of
you carry your bag, you're coming to the office, you're going to work, and you're smiling. You're like, why they shine teeth? I think there's nothing.
The last day now.
It's Friday.
Yes, it's the last day of the week.
This organo will enjoy me for that office. So Friday has come. I'm going to sit down at home for on Saturday and Sunday. But the stress of where's the proposal? Where is the report? Where is this? No more troubles on Friday. So after Friday, you shake your back for your for your boss and say, "See you on Monday." Next, see you on Monday.
And the funny thing is the way the Monday will come, it's like breeze.
Yeah, you know, after celebrating that you're going to be 2 days away from work, and you just wake up one morning and Monday is here, and you're like, we're back again.
Sometimes I do feel like, why don't we just add another day?
Yeah,
like two
Saturdays and
two Sundays.
Sunday Pro Max. Saturday Pro.
So there was a time I told someone that honestly we should have 2 Sundays. Person said, "Okay, you are too lazy." I said it's not laziness. We should have 2 Sundays. We should have 2 Sundays in a week. And then now that you guys are proposing 2 Saturdays, so we just stay home for 4 days.
4 days.
Well done. And you work for 5 days.
I've been now.
So we now have 9 days in a week. So you work for 5 days and sit at home for 4 days. That would really be amazing. And another thing is, I've always looked for a country where people don't work but they get to eat. So have you found?
I think.
You think?
Well,
You think?
I don't know. I think I've come across
A country,
a
where
country
people
where the I think
The
I don't know whether they
citizens.
say the men don't work or something. And
why is it the men? The men should work, the women should
I
stay
think
at
there's something
home.
that, but the thing is, some countries actually have, I think, support.
Yeah, great
You know,
support.
if you lose your job,
Mhm.
the government will be. You know,
Yeah, I know of the
paying-
one of United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
Like they support their citizens
Yes.
a lot. You're getting married, they're supporting you with a house, with some cash. Nigerian government, look at me. I work so hard. I try. By now, you should be supporting me.
Well, normally, what it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be like if you lose your job, let's say you get fired from work, you can apply for, you know, the government to be paying you. You know,
Until you
like
find a
yes,
job.
until you find a job. I think that's what they do in America. In America, if you
Hope
if
it's
you
not
get-
like loan, sha.
no, it's not loan.
No.
They will be paying you until
Yeah.
you get a job, and then you can now once you've gotten a job, I think you apply that you've gotten a job, they'll stop paying. Yeah.
And that's good, you know, a way you just get to support your citizens. Nigeria, look at me, and we talk about this, and that's why even when you work for the government, you retire, of course your pensions start coming. Even in our country, we're even still asking that we pay our pensioners, you know, those who have
It's
worked
just
and
like they're
served.
begging.
Yeah.
It's hard again to get your pension.
Yes.
You're not giving me money that well done for the work you're doing in this country.
The question is, why must we always beg
For
for what
our
is our
rights.
rights? We get it. We get a job. We'll be begging for them to pay. You understand? It's not supposed to be so now. I mean, why must we beg for something that we've worked for? And at the end of the day, to pay, you start
It's
begging.
difficult.
It's difficult. Of course. Why would you beg for pension?
How will you beg for pension? And yeah, that being said, it's Friday. We just decided, you know, to throw this light discussion out there to ease the week. Now let's get into the main thing proper. Now I have 5 stories before me. Top 5 stories this week. Well, we have the Benue situation. We're going to take that last because it's not really a very palatable story, but it's still something we have to talk about. And let me go to APC running mate. You know, we've had of concerns that President Bola Tinubu may not, you know, pick Shetima as the running mate in the 2027 election. Both quarters have been silent about this, but I would say recently our chieftain of the All Progressives Congress said the ruling party has no plan to replace Vice President Kashim Shettima. I was the only one who had come to debunk, you know, that rumor. Because in Gombe last Saturday, there was party members, you know, maybe a summit or meeting like that, and the vice chairman of the Gombe State chapter mentioned, "Oh, we're supporting President Tinubu for 2027." And he didn't mention at Shettima, the Vice President Kashim Shettima. The people who were backing Shettima, you know, decided to cause tension. There was a lot of rowdy session and all of that. And this is not the first time that has drawn concerns. And let's not forget, APC held its national, national meeting the first time this year. And they were all about Tinubu, Tinubu, Tinubu. That was where the whole thing even started. That's why not mention Kashima as the running mate if we're talking about, you know, when they endorsed or gave President Bola Tinubu automatic ticket, endorsing him for 2027. And they say, you're not mentioning Shetima, what's happening? And all of that. So let's, now that an NPC chieftain has come to debunk it, you know, it's kind of allow people, you know, to find maybe closure to this thing. But let's say, okay, you come to debunk it and we don't get to hear about it again. Let's even go back to, you know, people having concerns that President Bola Tinubu may want to drop his candidate, which is running mates, which we've never seen before. You know, judging from the time of former President Olusegun Obasanjo, he had Atiku for 2 terms, and the blessed memory Yaradua, you know, had Jonathan before he passed away in his first tenure, and Jonathan came up with Namadi Sambo when he ran in for the presidency the first time. The second time he did not win; it was still with Namadi Sambo, and the former president Muhammad Buhari also had, who was his running mate? Oshibaju. Professor Yemi Oshibaju, the cool that people refer to as the cool economist and all of that. You know, they had a 2 consecutive term. And this one is like, you know, a shift. People are feeling like, why is President Tinubu, you know, taking a shift? What is the thing? But do we think that if President Bola Tinubu is not going to run with, take Shetima as his running mate in the 2027 election, will he stand a chance? Do you think it will cause a setback? Like, do you think people will be taken aback and say, okay, no, we will not give our support, or something like that, or it wouldn't change anything? Do you think it will change something?
Well, if whatever his plan is, we don't know yet. So I think it will kind of cause a big impact, because you know, Shetima has a stronghold in the north, and if without the north, you can't really win the
because
they are, and if you look at it, exactly, they have
the north.
You hear
the north is huge.
2 million, 1 million, you understand? And from the north.
Are you kidding?
So,
the north, they have over 15 states.
Yes. So if dropping Shetima, I would feel it's not the right thing to do, because not at this point, we are approaching the election soon.
Which election are we approaching? This is still 2025.
Yes, we will say.
But the way it's all sounding, you know, everywhere. It's like
it's
just next
year.
year.
Yeah, just next year. So doing that, like I said, I feel it will actually affect the. You know, sometimes I've said it before. Sometimes the people might actually vote for the president because of the vice president. Some people will vote for the president because of the vice president because of the president. You understand? So they both of them, they need each other. And even if you say, okay, fine, you don't want to vote for the president, you just voted because of the vice president. You understand? Maybe the vice president is your choice. So removing the vice president, whoever you bring might not have a strong hold like he does. So
there are speculations that he may want to pick one Ubarsani. I don't know if he's the Ubarsani present governor of Kaduna State, because he's just having his first term. Will you leave, you know, governorship position for your first term and jump on VP? You know. So there is that. But let's not even talk about that. It's not in the picture already. It's just they're just speculations and all of that. Because I remember during the tenure of the former president Goodluck Jonathan, Namadi also played a very crucial role.
Yes.
Namadi was the governor of Kaduna State, and he was vacating the office for the second term. So he was picked up, and he was the one even campaigning in the north. Though Jonathan followed sometimes, but Namadi was the one, you know, doing the major campaigns in the north. So we all know that somehow, even while we don't want to bring, you know, tribe and all of that into these things, it's come to play. It plays a huge part.
We just have to tell ourselves the truth.
It plays a huge part, because let's not forget, during 2023 election, you know, a lot of people just felt President Tinubu is from the southwest, and it's been a while it was in the last maybe 2007 when the tenure of former president Olusegun Obasanjo, you know, ended. Since then, we've not had, so people just joke on it that, oh, we're going to support our own. You know, there's that. So we cannot remove the fact that people would want to, you know, draw this, okay, it's my tribe person, let's give him a chance. Okay. So some of them are not even doing it because they're playing partisan politics. Some of them are just doing it from the willingness that, let me give my person a chance. I want to support my person. But at the end of the day, if your person, you know, is not doing well, of course, you will have something also to say. So we will not lie that wherever you come from does not play a part. And eventually, why Peter Obi also got support was because his ideas resonated with the youth somehow.
Yes,
And you see, they jumped on it.
yes.
So it was not even a matter of tribe.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Some youths just supported him, regardless of the tribe. It was okay,
Let's-
we have
yes.
let's give him a
Yes.
chance
Mm.
and all of that. So a lot of things play out when it comes to preparing for election and choosing a candidate. It's not just they consider all of these factors. Now let's move away from there and come to PDP. So PDP recently wrote to INEC that they were going to have a meeting, their 100th NEC meeting, that's National Executive Council meeting, and we know that PDP has not had a bed of roses since 2023 election. And I didn't even know until now that if you are to hold a meeting, National Executive Council meeting, that you to write to the INEC. I know you always, formally inform, you give a formal notice, but there is this clause that if you are to sign this formal notice, the secretary, national secretary signature must be on it. That's the chairman, the acting chairman, the Mangum, and the national secretary. Now, we're not even sure who is the national secretary because people are supporting Ayaun. And backstory, Ayaun left to contest for governorship election and left the position and came back. Ude Okoye was already there. Now, this trouble between Ayaun and Ude Okoye, finally, some party leaders decided to say, okay, let's find a solution. Let's bring an acting national scribe. So we'll let two of you rest. But somebody like Wike is supporting Ayaun. Other people are backing Ayaun as the national secretary. And now there's court judgment. So a court judgment says, okay, we don't have to interfere in the internal issues with your party. So either Ude Okoye is your national secretary or not, it does not concern us. It's not our, Supreme Court gave that judgment, and people decided to stick to, okay, Ayaun is our chairman then. Now, since Dem and Gom signed on that letter, there was no national secretary to sign because who is going to sign?
Yes.
Because some party leaders will say no, it's Ayaun that should sign.
Yeah.
Others will say, okay, it's the acting chairman who is the deputy secretary that should sign. And so they decided to leave the space open. And INEC fired back and said, you're not going to hold that NEC meeting because there is no signature of it. And now, there is also the fact that INEC is recognizing Ayaun as the chairman. Do you think PDP should move past this? Let's just settle, because this is one of the biggest crises in the PDP, this national secretary stuff. So they have other issues on, maybe, how do I say this now? Who they're going to, present. I'm not even sure they're there yet, that they're there to pick a candidate for the PDP, presidential election. But they're moving towards a direction. But this national secretary issue is Wala. And INEC is recognizing Ayaun as the national secretary. And now they can't even move on with their 100th NEC meeting because we don't know who is. National, yeah, the party leaders are supporting, a particular person for national secretary and this and that. What do you think PDP, if you were in PDP party, what would you advise your party members?
This whole fighting, it's not, it's
Get
just
caution.
pick who is capable and then move on. I mean, if you are still fighting, other parties are actually looking ahead of the upcoming election in
is even
2027.
national secretary position a big deal that we influence? It's a big deal that we influence the 2027 election. So people have interest and stake in that position. So they want their person to be there because they know their person will also, they have the support of their person, and the person also would, have their interest too. I think that's why it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
So should we, stick to Ayaun and move forward? Because this
The
is
person, you
an
see, the one
issue.
that left was
Ayaun and returned.
The truth of the matter is, I feel if you are in a position, of
Yeah,
a
you're
position
holding a
like that,
public
you're holding a
office.
public office. It's, you shouldn't, once you've gone, there's no coming back. Because it's true now, because why would you leave a position that he had given to you and then you
And
left
you
and you
did
did
not
not
resign from that
you did not
position because you're trying to play 50-50. What if this does not work? So I return.
Not
It's
decide,
not-
not
it's
decide.
not-
So I just think parties should make stricter rules.
Yes.
Because if there are rules, then
Yes,
you
if
know,
you are leaving
yeah, you're
for
leaving,
another position,
you're not returning.
you are not
not
returning.
returning.
Exactly. So I feel the hope
Well,
it started
yeah,
from.
we've seen this even played in the National Assembly. Honestly, we've seen this play in the National Assembly when you see a senator going to run for another position and come back again, run for a governorship election and say, let's go and do primaries. If I win primaries, Senate, bye-bye. For National Assembly, bye-bye. If they don't win the primaries, they return. They return there because they tell you that, I better go. I have to keep one. If one does not work, I have to keep one.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know, PDP should figure out what they want to do, because if they make progress in one, there's possibility they'll make progress in others. So they should just find a way to resolve the crisis. But do you think that, you know, there is chances that PDP will sort things out before the end of this year?
Yeah.
I think they should even put a
Yes.
timeline to them resolving their crisis before the end of this year, because in 2016
It would be. It
the
would
game is
affect
on.
them.
Like,
2026, right?
yeah, in 2026, 2026.
2026.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2026, the game is on for 2027. So they have to put their house in order.
We still have a long stretch of.
You're saying a long stretch?
They should be able
And
to
try to
resolve.
pick their candidate. Then they will try. They'll
Yes,
look for a way
and
to
don't
back that
forget,
candidate
don't
up.
forget, whoever they are still fighting about national secretary, when they are still not sure of. I would say they are still not sure of the candidate, because whoever they bring as the candidate for the presidential election determines if they will stand a strong, a chance
Yeah.
against the
Election.
ruling party, because you are fighting national secretary. If you now bring a candidate that people will just, you understand, wave aside, you will not really perform well at the
Yeah.
general
Yeah,
election.
and we can also have, suggested that they pick a candidate from the south if they really, if they really want to, stand a chance at contesting in the 2027 election. So let's move away from that. Yesterday, FCT, Federal Capital Territory Administration, the FCT teachers in the Federal Capital Territory entered their 90th day of strike. So teachers have been on strike in the Federal Capital Territory, and this has entered the 90th day. That's almost 3 months. Let's just say 3 months. And then people were saying, the Federal Capital Minister, some wiki, he's been inaugurating projects, commissioning projects, and though there was a time he addressed it, he warned the local councils that they should do something. If not, he will also make them suffer the consequence. But I'm not sure that was duly followed up, and NLC has decided to back it. So here I will, the African Action Congress Federal Capital Territory chapters describe the prolonged industrial action by primary school teachers now entering the 90th day as a case of heinous neglect. The party asserted that the strike is a direct result of the administration's callous and indifference to the plight of educators and future of school children in the nation's capital. And why this party raised the concern is, minimum wage is 70,000 naira, and saying the minister has been commissioning projects, especially the newly rehabilitated International Conference Center that got billions of naira, and saying, ICC, has been renovated. ICC, ICC.
Yes. Well, most of the events they handle, it's in ICC, ICC, and most of this like trade fairs, booths, and the rest in ICC. But
and the place is making money for the government because they don't give it out for free.
Of course.
But the truth is, the concerns have been raised that a lot of billions, go into this project, and not just the ICC, different road construction. While we appreciate this infrastructure, of course, the teachers, they're 70,000 naira minimum wage, and they're saying that something should be done. So how do we address this?
Like he said, something should be done, because these teachers are teaching the future Nigerians, the future citizens, our future. Should be addressed like urgently, because that 90 days is too much. 3 months
For
teachers
children.
should be the first. I would feel they should be the first priority.
Priority.
Because I mean, they are workers. You understand?
And
and
they're not asking for much. There are no, several packages
of
like other
course,
sectors
Yes.
for them.
they
It's
should
just their basic
they should
salaries.
focus on
Mm.
them. You understand?
Mhm.
Pay them their salaries. That's why, like we said it earlier. Why must we beg for what
To get
what?
something.
is ours? You understand? We
Yes.
work and we're still begging for the government to
For
pay.
our
It's not
rights.
right. It's not
Mhm.
supposed to be so. Fine, you are doing commissioning all these projects, which is very good, but these teachers, your priority should be on them too, because, like you said, they are the ones teaching the futures of this country. So if you cannot, and most of them are happy doing what they do.
Yeah.
They are happy
Because
doing
it's
what
not
they
even
they
a
derive.
job that you're doing for the money.
Of
Mhm.
course,
We all do
you
jobs
derive-
for the money.
Yes, you derive
Yeah.
joy in what you're doing. So
Mhm.
at least appreciate them.
They're doing it for the passion. Because
Yes.
if you talk about teachers' salaries, sometimes when there was a time I was a teacher after I graduated, and I worked in a place for a while, and the contract ended. I had to sit at home. I just told myself, why you dey sit that for house? Go teach. 1+1, 2 2+2 4. No, I didn't teach in primary school. That's just a joke. I taught in secondary school, and it was fun. Honestly, I didn't live there because of the money. It was not my first passion for a job, but I enjoyed it. It was really it's thrilling. You feel this joy in your heart,
Yes.
seeing these children learning and doing amazing things. So it's always like I'm always passionate about teaching. And wherever I hear teachers are not being treated well, I feel it, because if I'm still in that sector, of course it will affect
Yes.
me. Teachers cannot even buy designer clothes. Kilo day, why? How much is their salary? And you're even still holding, their salaries, the little thing you're paying them, you're still holding it back. When you tell people you're a teacher, they first look at you like this. We know.
From the
Because,
dressing.
we, of course, you're a teacher. And this should
Yeah,
not be.
teacher, yeah.
We should learn to treat.
I know
them
it's not even the thing is it's not even in this country alone. Teachers even abroad
Yes,
too.
abroad,
When you
yes.
see a teacher, they are not that they don't live this flashy or
Yeah,
flamboyant
from
lifestyle.
Not
Like
from their mode of dressing.
yes, very simple. So but they should focus on these teachers and pay them their.
Yeah, so let me just
salary.
take this because I mentioned Benue killings, and it's one of the top stories. So this is the top 5 stories for